What's up, guys? Welcome back to the J&J podcast. It's been a minute. We missed last week because nothing was going on in the NBA world, but still nothing has really went on except for the NBA schedule coming out, and it's a one-man show today. So by any means necessary, got to get it done. And I'm just gonna react to the schedules. Opening day, Christmas Day, maybe a little bit of the Knicks schedule, and then I got a little a little game that I'm gonna play by myself, and you guys could just watch along with me. But starting off with the opening night schedule, October 21st. We have Rockets Thunder. That is the 7:30 game. Ring night, ring ceremony for the Thunder. Kevin Durant will be in town to see OKC hanging their banner, their first OKC banner, because I know they share the history with the Sonics, but I'm gonna keep that with the Sonics history. This is the first championship banner for the Thunder, and Kevin Durant will be in attendance for that. And that was great on the NBA part. But I think this is gonna be a fun game. Um, Kevin Durant might have a chip on his shoulder for that, and then you're gonna see the young Thunder getting that pressure off their back of winning the championship. So you might see them play so loose and so like just ready to go. That's probably the scariest thing. A team like that good, getting that pressure off them, nobody could say anything to them. But I'm gonna be excited to see a men going into year three with all the expectations. And I think it'll be a closer game than people expect. But this is also the first NBC game since 2002, I believe. I'd have to double check that, but NBC is making their return with the NBA. No more TNT, but I'm excited because the NBC presentation was always so fire. I wasn't watching when it was like going on last time, but I'm seeing old games on Hardwood Classics on NBA TV or on YouTube, and all that presentation, the theme song, and it was all very iconic. The old NBA Jam. So for it to make its return, it's gonna be. I'm excited for it. Um, and then the second game, we have the Warriors and the Lakers. I think anybody could have got that. You know, LeBron's gonna play on opening day. Like you have to. Game is in LA. You gotta have Bron versus Steph on opening day, and this is another one. You can't really go wrong with Bron and Steph on opening. That's really what the NBA is gonna do. And now with the Luca era, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch too. Not only did I say NBC, but this will be on Peacock as well. So everybody has to get their subscriptions ready because I have NBC this year, Peacock, Prime, um, and then ESPN. So you're gonna have to be subscribing to a lot of things. And I might as well do the Wednesday game too, because that's where my Knicks play. So we got two ESPN games on October 22nd. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the New York Knicks in the Garden. They're already trying to build the hype because we also spoiler alert, we play the Cavaliers on Christmas Day. They're trying to build this rivalry as I guess as they should because the Pacers are gone with Halliburton being out, Tatum is hurt. So the presumed NBA Eastern Conference Finals, everyone's assuming it's going to be the Cavs and the Knicks. We'll see if that weighs true in May. But I'm excited for it. Um, I feel like it's gonna build for a good rivalry, and I don't think the Knicks are gonna do that Bulls did last year where they lose to all the top teams. I think they're gonna have that chip on their shoulder going into the year, and I think for the Cavs, I think they'll be on a mission as well with the great season that they had last year, and for it to end the way that it did. I don't think they're gonna prioritize the regular season like that. Like I still think they're gonna be a top two seed, but I don't think they're gonna be gunning for 65, 70 wins. I think they're gonna be along the lines of maybe like 56, 57 wins. Um, fight for that 1 seed, maybe 2 seed. But I think they're gonna try to make a statement with some of these top teams and show that like, yo, I know some of you guys are sleeping on us because of how we went out in the playoffs, but don't forget we are one of those teams. Kenny Atkinson took this team from pretty good to now, oh yeah, this team is a contender. So I think we can't write off the Cavs this year just based on what happened in the playoffs. But I'm excited for this rivalry because that playoff series from 2023 feels like years ago. Both teams are completely different at this point. But now to see how it's gonna fold out this year, I'm interested. I'm interested to see how it goes. Um, we've seen the NBA try to like force rivalries, and it doesn't really pan out or live up to it. So I'm hoping that this can live up to something because it's also entertaining me. You guys know Jordan's a Knicks fan as well. Our friend Colin, who's always on the show, he is a Cavaliers fan. So it's always funny if our teams are rivals and we get to talk shit here and there. So I'm hoping for a good season for both teams, just for it to be competitive and we have something to talk about all along. And the second ESPN game, we got Spurs Mavericks. Um, it feels like they've played like the last 3 years in a row already on opening night. I believe Wemby's debut was against the Mavericks as well. And I think last year they played on opening night. So this will be the third year in a row that the Mavericks and the Spurs play on opening night. Um, I mean, I guess like you gonna have Cooper Flag versus Wemby, the two generational talents against each other. So I mean, it should be a fun game. I don't think they're building that as a rivalry, but with Wemby being who he is, the next face, and Cooper Flag coming in, um, with the hype that he has, I guess you got to capitalize and put that on nationally televised games. So I think that should be fun. Um, the Texas rivalry as well. All three Texas teams should be pretty good this year. So you have that to take into account too as well. But I'm more hyped for the first game. Like Knicks, Cavs, you can't get better than that for me. Then I'm gonna take it over to the Christmas Day game this year. So I'm not gonna lie. Last year I had a little rant about the Christmas Day game, saying that it was garbage. But this year, not gonna lie, the NBA did its thing this year. There's only one game out of this whole batch that I'm like, I think I'm gonna skip out on that game. But so far, the NBA they cooked this year. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just list the games all and then go break down for every single one. So at noon, you have the Cavaliers coming to Madison Square Garden to play the Knicks. That'll be the first game of the day. Second game, you have the San Antonio Spurs going to OKC at 2:30. Then you got Dallas Mavericks versus Golden State Warriors at 5 o'clock. Cooper Flag gets to play on Christmas. I think the last rookie to get a Christmas game was Zion, but I think Hurst didn't even play. The fourth game is the Houston Rockets versus the LA Lakers at 8 p.m. That will be the primetime game. You get KD versus Braun. And then the very last game at 10:30. This is all Eastern time. Timberwolves versus Denver Nuggets. Yeah, they did great. And starting off with the Knicks game, Knicks versus Cavs, I pretty much the same as opening night. I think the Christmas game is gonna be. It'll probably be like a better litmus test. See how both teams fare because I feel like opening night you kind of have everybody's kind of rusty. There might be some jitters there. Um, New additions got to get acclimated. I know the Cavs didn't really. They really just brought in Lonzo, um, Larry Nance, and Tyrese Proctor. So that the acclimation process probably won't be that crazy, but for the Knicks, Yabusele, bringing in Jordan Clarkson, brand new coach, whole new coaching staff. I think the only returning is Rick Brunson. So, opening night might be a little shaky. I'm not gonna lie. But Christmas, you have you have a good amount of games under your belt. Um, everybody knows this is Christmas. Every single game is nationally televised, so you'll be getting everybody at their best. And hopefully, knock on wood, everybody's healthy at that point in time. So I think that Christmas game will be a good litmus to see, like how these two teams fare against each other and how what we can expect going forward. I don't really have much to add on, but I feel like that Christmas game will be better than the opening night game for sure. Thunder versus Spurs. Um, I think just based on last year on Christmas, seeing what Wemby did to the Knicks, dropping 42 and 18 in the Garden, I'm interested to see what he does against this OKC defense. If he could go crazy, that that would be insane. And he proved last year that you got to put him on Christmas every year. And I know they're trying to force that Chet versus Wemby rivalry. I think he's gonna try to make it known that it's a maybe we could see a Chet, I mean a Wemby versus Shea rivalry because Wemby is really a top 10 player in the league, and Shea is really top 3. So maybe Wemby got something to prove, show the whole world on Christmas, like, yo, this is top 3 guy in the league. Well, here I am. I'm about to drop 40 and 20 on Christmas Day, and hopefully get that win. And excited for the Spurs this year, man. Shout out to De'Aaron Fox. He got his extension. Um, and I'm ready for him to prove a lot of people wrong this year. But not much to say about that game. The 2:30 game is always kind of the weird spot, especially I don't know. I guess for me, because I'm so locked in, because the Knicks always play on at noon. So for the most, so I'm always locked into that game. The 2:30 game is always like the all right. I'm opening my gifts and kind of talking to people on the phone and reacting to the Knicks game that just happened. Um, so that's I'm gonna still be tuned into that one though. 5 o'clock game, the third game, Mavericks versus Warriors. I'm not gonna lie, this is the one where I was like, I think I might skip this one, just because it's I don't know. I feel like they always do some. I kind of feel like they got to put Curry with one of his peers, because like Mavericks Warriors, it's cool. Kyrie most likely won't be there, so it's really AD and Cooper Flag versus Steph and Dre. I mean, I think it's a cool game, but not one. I might just have it in the background. I'm not really hyped for this game. This is the one game I'm not at all hyped for. And you never know with AD too. He could be out too. And and the Warriors are. Oh shit! I disregarded Jimmy Butler completely. My bad. My fault. But but even that doesn't really change much. And the Warriors are like that one team where it's like I don't know. If Steph goes down, knock on wood, I don't want to watch them at all. Um, but yeah, that's like the one I don't want to see. Just because more so on the Mavericks side, because Kyrie is already out. If Kyrie was there, this would have been a fun game. But no Kyrie, AD could potentially be hurt by the time this game comes out. So you might just have Cooper Flag and Max Christie, Derek Lively and PJ Washington versus Steph and Jimmy and Dre. So not too crazy about that game because of the injury implications that could arise at that time. The 8 o'clock game. I think the 8 o'clock is usually always like the game. You got Rockets versus Lakers. You got the young Rockets versus I say old Lakers, but shit, LeBron. He kind of boosting up the average age of that team, but it's really the Luka Lakers now, based on what they did in the offseason. But Young Rockets, the defense with Kevin Durant, Brown, that should be fun. I'm not gonna lie. And then you throw Luca in there in the mix. Amen. Shane. This is gonna be a fun game, honestly. And it's in LA. This game is gonna be super fun. Um, Not really much you could say. Like they speak for itself. KD versus Brown on Christmas Day at 8 o'clock. That's gonna be the prime time game that everybody wakes up for. Then the very last final game, you got Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves in Denver. I think this is a good game. The Timberwolves and Nuggets play each other very well, and now it's going to be a new look team for the Nuggets, bringing in Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Brown is back, and then you got Anthony Edwards, who's always doing his thing against the Nuggets, beat in the playoffs 2 seasons ago now. But this should be a fun game, and I expect a better team this year. The Timberwolves are coming back from 2 conference finals appearances, and they're gonna want to show that you're still one of them teams, even if you guys think we got demolished in both conference finals and we don't deserve to be there. Um, but I think it should be a good game. They play each other very well. If there was a if you would have asked me what team I would have liked to see on Christmas, because just based on all the games I named, there's only 2 Eastern Conference teams, which I'm cool with. I don't think any other Eastern Conference team deserves a game. Like I'm looking, I mean, you could argue like Giannis should be playing on Christmas, but that team is so ass, bro. Like you could put them on Christmas and then they get waxed, and then that's a waste of a game. Because you got to understand too, the NBA is competing with the NFL, and last year's Christmas games or the past season's Christmas games for the NBA cooked. Every game was fire. The NFL Christmas games were garbage. So you have to take into account that NBA is competing with the NFL now, because before NFL wasn't playing games on Christmas. Thanksgiving was their day. NBA don't even play Thanksgiving. Respect them for that, but they're trying to take Christmas too. So now NBA has to come with some fire Christmas games. And looking at the NFL Christmas games, you got Cowboys Commanders. That's a cool game, 1 o'clock. But I'm taking all Knicks Cavs for that. You got Lions Vikings at 4:30. That's a good game. Won't lie, that's a real good game. And then you got Broncos Chiefs 8:15. That's a cool game. But yeah, the NBA they got on top when it comes to the Christmas game. So I'm not mad at the fact that there's only 2 Eastern Conference teams, and all these teams. I think the one team I would have maybe liked to see on Christmas would have probably been the Clippers, but they're another team where it's like, especially with Kawhi, you don't know the health of that team by the time Christmas comes around. So I guess you can't really take that risk. But outside of that, I'm not. Yeah, I'm actually happy they didn't put Boston in. They put the Pacers. I think Detroit on Christmas would have been cool to see. Who they match up with. That would have been interesting. Atlanta, nah, they gotta prove it first. I think the Clippers would have been my pick of teams I would have wanted to see on Christmas, but I think the NBA cooked this year with the schedule. They did a good thing. I'm not. I was gonna go into the beginning Knicks schedule, but I'm not gonna do that. That'll be too much Knicks talk. I'm gonna just get into a game. I'm gonna just end this portion of the pod here